What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Footy Fetish. This is episode
19.
19. Thank you, Mark. With myself, Alfie Vincent, Mark,
Hello.
and Ollie Greaves down there at the bottom of my screen. I don't know if he is for everyone else. I think he is.
Yeah, he is.
But nice. Reffing his team this week. Love to see it.
Yeah.
How you two doing?
Too heartbroken last week, but there's some sort of positivity at the moment. It might not be anything, but who knows?
Yeah, you're feeling a bit better about what's his face? Spotify dude. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Daniel Ek.
Daniel Ek. That's it. Yeah, he wants to obviously
launching a bid to buy Arsenal. Me and Alf were chatting about it earlier, and Kroenke has apparently come out and said he's no interest in selling any of Arsenal, not even any stake
of it. Yeah.
But, Daniel Ek's done an interview this afternoon and said he's preparing a very thought out sort of bid for it, something that hopefully they won't be able to refuse. So
yeah, I did see. Really. I watched a bit of the clip earlier on Sky Sports, and he said one thing that I would sort of I think give Arsenal fans a bit of hope as well is he did say it's just I don't think this is going to be a quick turnaround thing. This is going to take a while to get done, and I'm prepared for it. And as he said, I've been a fan for the club for 30 years. I'm prepared for it to take a little while to get going. But yeah, he said I'll give him a thoughtful offer, something around those lines, and we'll see what happens. It could hopefully mean that you get these cronky bastards out of this out of your club, mate.
Definitely. I think it says something when there's three Arsenal legends of Henry, Vieira and Bergkamp that are also supporting this guy and helping him.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't care about your club, though. He doesn't care about
no, of course he doesn't. But what's it they said? Where's the quote? He said that basically they're 100% focused on like Arsenal still. I don't think it's ever been 100% focused on Arsenal.
They know Arsenal
also,
is there.
I did also see on the video he said he has the funding already backed.
Oh, yeah.
So he has all the funding backed already. They need to accept it or work out a deal, whatever would be interesting.
Spotify's got money though.
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, he himself is he's got
chairman and CEO, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a net worth of like 3.8 billion or something, and the rumours of it to be believed. Apparently, what's his name? Kroenke would want at least 2.4 or something, or 2.5 billion for Arsenal.
Fair.
Which is like
crazy.
It's basically like double the amount he paid for it.
Yeah, it's nuts. Fair play. You might as well get that if you can. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Hopefully, if he has Vieira backing him, hopefully he gives him a job that keeps him the fuck away from the Crystal Palace managerial job, because we do not want him. I've seen the rumours on Twitter, and I'm not happy. Not with Vieira. I'd rather keep Roy, which I actually think it might end up doing now. But we'll get onto that for a later date. We don't need to go. You know how long I could go on about like that for.
When you get going.
Exactly. Well, we might as well get into the main topic of this podcast, which is we're all proposing. So we'll have three future Ballon d'Or candidates that we see, not necessarily winning it this year or next year, but in sometime in their future career. All young players, I'm assuming, that we've chosen. I mean, I can't imagine that we're going to disagree too much, because these players are obviously going to be already quite good, I'm imagining, from what we think. I mean, who wants to start us off?
Mark.
Okay, Mark, start us off, mate. Who is
I've been nominated mid-eating a chicken bite.
Nice. I'm going to tip my team.
Are we just going focusing on one player?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need to say his name?
Do you want me to go first so you can have some time to prepare this? Or?
No.
Okay.
I'm just curious, do you guys know who I've picked? I think
I put on the group chat who I picked, so I'm hoping you haven't picked it.
No, I haven't picked him.
Okay.
Cool. I assume you haven't picked anyone in an Arsenal shirt.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Fair enough. All right. Well, go ahead, man.
Who do we think?
I know who this is. This is Trent Alexander-Arnold.
It is.
Yeah. Love it.
It's got to be.
I had a joke with Alf earlier. I said, what the odds is going to be like Nat Phillips or Minamino or something.
Milner. It's Milner.
Milner, yeah.
Shout out to Big Donny Char.
I was about to say, welcome Big Donny Char.
Come on, G.
Talking about Ballon d'Or winners, future best player in the world winner trophies.
I'm coming in with Trent, right?
Trent, yep. famous Liverpool left right back even. Maybe England right back. We'll see how Southgate feels.
That's a touchy one.
Southgate's now allowed to take 26 players instead of
He's
23.
definitely got to go.
So he might get a chance of going.
We can't miss out that creativity.
I mean, he already has.
I mean,
I think he was setting us in for his Euro choices.
Yeah.
But yeah, carry on.
Let
Sorry,
him down
you know.
now.
Well, I'm not sure on the finite details, but I'm pretty sure Alexander-Arnold was, I think, in the final selection of like the player votes for the Ballon d'Or. So his name did pop up in this contention anyway, which only I think screams the potential that he has. And I think obviously not a lot of people will argue that, you know, Trent is one of those players that plays a lot older and plays like he has a lot more experience. Obviously there is room for improvement, probably like a lot of young players. But as far as like, I don't really know anyone who would start ahead of Trent.
What, for England or for Liverpool?
Just in general, Premier League, like any player. There's like what, a few who through experience but in terms of fitting into that Liverpool squad.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone.
What he offers, and yeah, Liverpool haven't been in the best form or have probably had the worst title defence I think I've ever seen. But still, like you got to think of like the actual. Obviously, we've spoken about this in depth about how Liverpool have been affected with their current squad, and I think Trent has suffered not having fucking Gomez and Van Dijk right behind him.
Absolutely.
And thinking, oh, who have I got behind me this week? And if he is let loose more going into next season, and then a season after that, I think all he needs is that confidence. And I mean, he got like the most assists. I think did he get most assists up there for most assists in what was it? When it 2018?
I think you might, because last year it was ADB, wasn't it? I think the season before might have been Trent. Yeah.
But still, for right back to be whipping in that many balls,
Absolutely.
like the balls he's been whipping in as well, I just think it's not like it's going to be inevitable, because there could just be like the next Messi, or next Ronaldo just absolutely storms it for their whole career, getting the Ballon d'Ors. But it'd be nice to see a right back win Ballon d'Or.
Definitely.
I think it's only happened once where a defensive player has won a Ballon d'Or, and I think he was like a left back, Italian left back, I think.
Was it Maldini?
Yeah, I think so.
Potentially. But you never see like defensive players get like that sort of level of sort of awards and trophies and stuff like that, and I just think Trent.
Oh, it was Fabio Cannavaro for Real Madrid.
Fair.
Yeah, he won the League of the Champions League, and he won the World Cup that year.
Fuck, the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a nuts year.
I mean, Trent in 1 year won Premier League, Champions League, Super World Cup. But
He
didn't win the Premier League and the Champions League in the same season.
Not in the same season.
Season, calendar year.
No, you didn't.
I was going to say it wouldn't have been calendar year either.
Oh yeah,
It would have been calendar year.
Oh yeah.
Never mind.
Moving on.
Within
In 2 years. In 2 years.
Within a year of you winning the Champions League, you then won the Premier League, because it wasn't a year to the exact day that, or a year part. Yeah, it don't
Within
matter.
the same 12 months.
Within the same 12 months, but not obviously in the calendar year or whatever. Yeah, or season. Yeah, but I get your point. Yeah.
I mean, for his age, he's like 23 as well. Like he's still very young. I think he's definitely got it in him to get those assists back up, potentially change position. I think we've spoken about that before. I mean, he's not a player who I think he would probably struggle in mid, just because of how much focus there has been about his defensive capability. So he's probably putting a lot of time trying to be a good defender.
He'll need to improve his defending, definitely, regardless of what he does. He needs to improve his defending and his pressing and everything off the ball. Actually, to be fair, his pressing's not bad. It's actually just like making a tackle and stuff like that.
Do we know what his tackle success rate is?
I don't. I can have a look.
That is a good question, because I think I saw somewhere where it's not as bad as what some people think. It's just where there's a lot of attention on him at the moment.
Alright, let's have a look.
But he has made blunder mistakes. Like,
Yeah, of course.
I can't let that slide. He has made absolute blunders.
So that's what
Yeah, two in the. Was it two in the Champions League? Or just one?
64% tackle success rate.
Not bad.
Well, that's of all the Premier League seasons he's played in, not just the last season. Yeah, 64%.
He averages 1.6 tackles a game and 1.3 interceptions, which is not that bad. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's not as bad as you think, but then obviously he is a case of like when you get to like the top levels like the Champions League and the World Cup of football, you have like the players that he would be coming up against are going to be nothing short of world class, and they are going to throw everything down his side.
They're all winners
just because they know he's the weaker one of him and Robertson defensively. So they're going to chuck everything down his side. So it is like a case of like, I know he's not bad defensively, but if he wants to like win a Ballon d'Or, for instance, he'll obviously have to improve that. Unless you move him to like unless you start playing three at the back with him at a right wing back, like sort of right mid position, where you could then have like a Fabinho drop into the back line if he's playing midfield to then cover up for the right hand side for Trent, so he doesn't really need to fall back that often and he can focus on going forward. That could work for him, and then he's going to be banging in assists and goals.
Not worrying about that.
Exactly.
Line.
He can get back just to man mark. Doesn't actually have to do anything. Do you know what I mean? Just to seal off passes from the opposition, but. I don't know do you see Jurgen move into a three at the back playing wing backs, or would you, because he likes his 4-3-3, doesn't he?
He really does like his 4-3-3, but I'm pretty sure he played like a 4-5-2 like the other day, I think, or something that's stupid, where he had the front three on plus Jota. So I was just trying. I can't remember what he did with that one. It was weird because I remember looking at it just seeing like Firmino up front, and then it was like Jota, Salah, Mane, Fabinho, and I was like, what was going on here?
Oh, right.
So I think he is.
Oh, was it a 4-2-3-1?
Potentially, he has been mixing it up. Notice, I think where he's got different types of players in the same formation won't work with every single player, so he is probably trying to switch that up. But I don't think it'd be hard for Trent to like move positions unless it was like going to be like a long-term decision. So if that was to happen, it would have to be a big discussion, because who we got? What's his Tsimikas, from the Greek player? That's all we've got.
Yeah,
really,
I haven't seen anything really of him.
No, not at all. I mean, you're not going to not play Trent if he's fit.
No, of course not.
And even if you've probably got, if Trent's out, you still. What do you reckon Milner could fill in as a right back? He could definitely do it.
He's getting on a bit. Milner is awesome, but he is now getting on a bit.
Massively.
So I probably would go for the other lad that you have bought as a right back.
If he's not injured.
To play at right back when he has the opportunity to, makes sense.
I'm yet to really see him do anything.
But I think, Trent is definitely a shout. I think there's an opportunity. It just depends on what, like his team situation, Liverpool, what happens. Do they change the formation? Do they change the way they play? Because obviously they're bound to lose like a big player or two in the next couple of seasons, right? Like a Mane or a Salah. You imagine one of them two.
Are you assuming that's going to be the case?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's going to happen. So
but then you look, I don't know. All the big teams are broke at the moment, apart from ones in England. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. All the Real Madrid, Barcelona, they're all broke. Juventus isn't exactly a nailed-on Champions League team at the moment somehow.
But there's always a way, though, isn't there?
Of course.
It would just be.
Well, if these fines come through from Perez, then they're going to pay off their debt easily.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's an interesting. Well, I know it's an obvious choice from Mark, because obviously being a Liverpool fan and it being a bright young player, but it's a good choice. I think an interesting choice for discussion, because it is one of them when you because he's got the defender thing. Only one defender's won it in his lifetime. Is that a bad mark on him getting it? It's one of them. It's interesting.
As much as we'd like to take the piss, you can't really take the piss out of Trent for that. It probably will happen at some point, like you say, when the team situation sorts itself out, whether that be other players coming in or players leaving, and whatever, or however long that takes as well. He will get back to how he was like last season, the season before. Definitely. You don't just lose that sort of thing overnight, that sort of talent.
You need to. It's mentally as well, right? So, like Mark was saying, with not having Van Dijk and Gomez, the rocks at to essentially mess up, clear up the mess that if he needs to. Do you know what I mean? Them two, that's what they do. And he has Kabak and Phillips at the moment, or not saying that they're bad players, but they're no way near.
Yeah, they're not Van Dijk or Gomez.
Well, you might have forgotten, we also got Ben Davies.
I did forget that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think most people did.
I did
I
forget
was
that.
like, wait a minute, because I think I saw a post the other day, like, has anyone seen Ben Davies lately? Because we're worried for his safety. So I was like, we own him. What the? What's that about? Why are we not? I haven't seen him do anything. But
I haven't seen him do anything either. But
I guess he's.
But
just
yeah, no, I guess I don't really know why you bought him. I guess you just bought him for coverage, but because Nat Phillips is capable. He's capable. Obviously, he's not what you want ideally starting, but you know he is fine for now. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because it also how long is Klopp going to stay? Obviously, you're safe for now because the Bayern Munich job and the Germany job's been taken up, so you're pretty safe on those two fronts. They could have been quite dangerous roles that he could have been interested in, but
I think. How
do you feel? How do you feel about that? About Klopp? Do you think he's got a little while left? Or?
I don't know. He probably had so far. He's only had like one difficult season, which is like right now, and it's probably not the season I'd want to have a bad season in, considering obviously what everyone knows has happened.
Yeah.
The whole sort of pandemic. Obviously, I know he loves the place, the fans, the stadium, the players as well. He's built a team, but I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he has any reason to go anywhere.
What he's done for Liverpool, sort of in the time that he's been here, he's bought himself a season and a half maybe of bad.
He's bought himself a statue as well outside the front.
Yeah, definitely. But he's got himself a good little while before there are serious sort of conversations about getting rid or moving on to something different. But yeah, I don't think you should get rid of him. He's an absolutely phenomenal manager.
I think if he was to leave Liverpool, it would be on his decision.
Oh yeah, he's not getting sacked.
He's never getting sacked. He's
John Henry's already in Liverpool fans' bad books. There's no way he's going to do that now.
I know.
That's basically asking to come for your neck if you do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no. It's interesting. It's interesting because I do think there's only like maybe like Bayern. I can't imagine the Germany job is one that would really interest him. But I can't imagine too many outside of that being. It's definitely not in England. There's no way you take another job in England. I don't think you've got to worry about that. But then like, don't know. Madrid could never see him managing Madrid. Barcelona, I couldn't see him managing Barcelona.
I'd probably see him like just move off to do something not as like mental as trying to win everything.
Or replace what's his name that's going to Bayern? Leipzig. No,
Nagelsmann's gone to Bayern, isn't he?
Yeah, and replace Nagelsmann at Leipzig.
They've got their replacement. I think it's the Mönchengladbach or the Leverkusen boss. One of them two. I think he's set to take on the job.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, Klopp's not leaving Liverpool anytime soon. Need to take up that job anyway.
Or is it the Dortmund boss? It might even be the Dortmund, but I can't remember. It's one of them lot because they're all moving around. Like, I think the Leverkusen boss is Dortmund's manager next year, and I think maybe Dortmund's manager is now going to be Leipzig manager next year. It's something like that. It's a bit weird.
Nagelsmann's the most expensive manager of all time now.
Yeah, he is bloody good.
25 million or whatever in compensation just to get him, which is fair enough, really.
Yeah. Is Hansi Flick's going to be Germany manager at Euros, isn't he?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Oh, fuck, that's a bit scary. That's scary, man. You saw what he did with the Bayern Munich team. What's he going to do with fucking the German national team? They're going to be an absolute machine.
Yeah.
I doubt about you guys. I'm excited for the World Cup as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think all of our players will probably be featuring in the World. I mean, I think all three of our players are British.
Yeah.
If I had to go, yeah, okay, fair enough. Have we, Mark? Is there anything else you want to say on Trent, or Ollie? Is there anything else you want to say on Trent?
No.
No, I think everyone he's always been in a player sort of in the limelight because of his age, because of his potential and his current talent. So I think it'd be a fool to sort of underestimate his ability to win a trophy like Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
fair. Final statement. Mark out.
Nice. Ollie, do you want to go next, mate?
Why not? I've gone for. I think
it's so obvious. I was about to say who it was.
Well, do you know who it is?
I think so. He wears an Arsenal shirt, doesn't he?
He does indeed.
It's
The only player in the next, I don't know how long that even vaguely has a chance of winning a Ballon d'Or. Is the wonder kid that is Bukayo Saka.
Emil Smith. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, Bukayo Saka. That's it. Yeah.
Is it Nicolas Pepe? Saka. He's what a player, man. He's for his age, like 19 years old,
19.
and he's still very, very young, and he's had pretty much 2 full seasons now playing consistent sort of first team football at Arsenal. Or when I say consistent, 26 appearances last year, he's on 28 this year. Pretty consistent over a 38 game period. But yeah, he's just won the London Football Awards Young Player of the Year as well. I do get lost for words when I speak about Saka sometimes, just because he's something that we've needed for a long, long time, and he's been at Arsenal since he was 7, I think. Came up through obviously the Hayland Academy, got his first professional contract at 17, and has just been bossing it for Arsenal ever since. His passing and his vision is incredible for his age as well. Hopefully it's only going to go up from there, and he can dribble a ball unbelievably well. He's just phenomenal. He's definitely something that we've needed. I can only see him going up from here, really. It's hard because I think he'd get a lot more credit if he was at a team like City or Liverpool or someone like that, someone that's consistently playing really well. I think with Arsenal, he does outshine a lot of the Arsenal players, but I think he would look even better if the whole Arsenal team were obviously putting in like stellar performances and winning games week in, week out. I think obviously he'd get spoken about a lot more that way, but for what he's done for Arsenal in the short time he's been there, stats wise it's not that impressive in terms of goals or assists or whatever it may be, but he's brilliant player. He's played, I think he's got 6 goals, 7 assists or something over best part of 2 seasons. So as I say, he's not sort of a forward in that sense. He does play in a full position occasionally, but he started off playing at Arsenal as a left back, and he's obviously moved up a bit into the left wing. He now plays a bit of right wing as well. So yeah, hopefully he's only going to sort of progress from here, get better. Hopefully if Arsenal restructure in the ownership does happen at some point, hopefully we can change up the team a little bit as well, and it'll only just further his progress. The only thing I'm not 100% certain on is if he does win it, whether he'll be an Arsenal player at the time or not.
That's what I was going to say.
Because if I could see him in a Madrid or a Barcelona top,
any club in the world, I think.
Yeah, and he's definitely being looked at by a lot of these big teams, especially probably in the German side of things as well, because they're loving picking up young English talent at the moment, bringing them over to Dortmund, for instance. I think he will be very hard to keep hold of in the next couple of years. He has signed a new contract last season, I think it was, but we all know contracts don't really mean too much other than just your value, really. But yeah, he's a great player. Great player.
I was just thinking about the because he's like a left wing back, right? You probably say, or left wing, or left wing back.
According to, I think I had it up here. According to Transfer Market, he's a right attacker, but he plays on the left and he plays left back. So
that's
okay. All around. He could definitely end up a few places there.
Yeah, he's left-footed, so I think he does play sort of left and right, really. But yeah.
Yeah, I like Saka a lot. He's a fantastic player. It's just a shame that it's like it is. It's this Arsenal team that is currently formed that he's in. It is a shame. I know what you mean. Like, obviously you have got good players, but then it's just obviously the system. Something's not going right at the moment. If he was in like a Man City or even like a Man United or something like that, where they just got a bit more, they have a Bruno Fernandes type thing.
Yeah.
Playing with someone like that would just take his game to a whole new level. And I think if this deal goes through with the Spotify dude, I don't see why, because obviously he seems like someone that wants to put the money in and actually.
That's the thing. He's a lifelong Arsenal fan, so he's got Arsenal's best intentions at heart. It's not going to be run like a business, hopefully.
Well, this is the thing. What people like the 2 most successful pretty much the 2 most successful clubs in England over the past I don't know, like 8 years, you say, are City and Chelsea, like in terms of winning the Premier League. Those are two clubs that are not run for a profit. They know, the owners of those two clubs know that there's not a chance of making money out of football and being good and winning. It just doesn't work like that. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And they win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues over the last 10 years. Well, obviously City haven't won the Champions League, but they've won five Premier Leagues over the last 10 years, like almost half the Premier Leagues that are available. I think something like that.
4, I think maybe, but
essentially,
like Carabao Cups and stuff like
yeah,
that.
of course, they won 4 in a row Carabao Cups. It's ridiculous.
The last time they lost a game in the Carabao Cup was 2016.
Yes, ridiculous, man. See, like it. So yeah, I do think he's definitely up there. It's just if he does stay at Arsenal.
Yeah, I think that really would be one of the main deciding factors of what happens with his sort of, how successful he is, and if he does ever win a Ballon d'Or. Because as much as I'd love it to be him to be in an Arsenal shirt for the rest of his career, I can't see it happening. He's just too good for. He's outperforming the like the club at the moment.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's it's hard to say, really.
I was just thinking, like AC Milan are on a revival at the moment. They're really looking for. He would look great in an AC Milan shirt. But yeah, no, I think you're right. It's interesting because it's almost like, where do you narrow him down? Where's he going to play? Because that would make it a lot easier to like understand where he would go or what kind of teams would be interested in him, right?
Yeah, but because he's so young, though, he's still got a hell of a long time left in his career.
Yeah, for sure.
At least he could go on for another 15 years. Well, 12 years maybe.
Yeah,
easily, and he's still very much at the beginning of his career, and he's got so much to learn. Hopefully, he could be.
What is he? 20? How was he? 20. 19. Oh, man, he could have 15 years, 16 years maybe.
Easy.
He's not 20.
Like Ronaldo and that are looking after their bodies and stuff. Definitely, he could play for 15 years maybe. But it'd be interesting, man. He's so young in his career, and he's so good already.
Yeah, just think even obviously, he's not been playing consistently for the first team for 2 seasons, and like other than that, as I say, he played for the Arsenal Academy as well. So it's not like he's been tipping out of other teams. He was at City at one point or whatever, and he's now ended up at Arsenal for his senior career. He's been at Arsenal the whole time, and he was scouted when he was 7, joined the Arsenal Academy, and he's been there until obviously he's been promoted to the senior squad. And I think with the right sort of players around him and the right manager, he could be the next Lionel Messi or Ronaldo. I think probably most of the 3 players on this list, on our list, probably could be. But it hurts me to say, but I don't think if he does win it, he will be at Arsenal at the time, unless we have some big turnaround. But then again, he could win it in 5 years' time, and Arsenal could be a completely different team in 5 years' time. Who knows, really? But Saka.
Nice. Yeah, I think. I definitely think you're right. If he's definitely a future potential Ballon d'Or winner. I think it just depends on, like you say, where is he going to be? Who is he going to be playing with? Who's he going to be playing for?
But this is the beauty of this podcast, is putting these names in their hat that could just literally be anywhere, go to any team potentially. Yeah,
I mean, it's just made. We got so many good young players coming through. I feel like every generation says that. You know, my dad was telling me the other day, he was like, I'll set you, because I was telling him I think we got the best England team coming through at the moment that we've ever had, and he was saying, Alf, mate, I was saying the same thing when I was your age. Do you know what I mean? All this kind of stuff, and I was like, and he's like, we haven't had a trophy my entire life, and I was like, yeah, it's true.
Oh man, that hurts.
Well, he was born in 1967, so he just missed by 1 year. But yeah, it's just a bit mad. But yeah, has anyone else got anything to say on Saka? Mark?
No, I'm kind of excited to see how he does, sort of in terms of individual players. Excited to see how Saka plays next season. Yeah. Just going forward, because I think Ollie is right to sort of give him a shout out there. You know, select him as his future Ballon d'Or winner, because he genuinely is like a really good fucking player. He's like genuinely a good baller. It's not just bias. Like, I mean, it's weird because it's like
a little bit of bias.
A little bit of bias from me, a little bit of bias from you. But like, these players are genuinely like very talented for just out of nowhere coming in. Young players as well. It's weird, yeah.
Something that happened so quickly as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Well, all right. If we're done with that with Saka, then I'll move on to my one. We got the third and final one on our guest list. I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, he's one of the. Yeah, I mean, I think if this dude's career goes the way it's going, he could end up as maybe one of the best English players of all time. Seriously, it's unbelievable. It's Man City's Phil Foden. I mean, he's just balled out. 20 years old, turns 21 next month. Currently this season, he's got 14 goals and 9 assists in all comps. Only De Bruyne has more assists in the Man City squad, and he has more goals than Gabriel Jesus. So, you know, their starting striker and their best, you know, he's right on the brink. Something that I found was he has more respected assists at 0.35 this season than Kane, Son, and James Rodriguez. He's only 13th. Yeah, he's only 13th on minutes played in Man City squad. Yeah, he's this high in stats and all this kind of stuff, and they're this important. But he does also, like in terms of Premier League, but he does have more minutes than any City outfield player in the Champions League. Like, I think that already shows how fucking important
we've got the Foxy 1995, aka Kieran, coming in with he's a bloody baller, man. He really is. Like, he really is.
But so as I was saying, already at 20 years old, he's played the most minutes of an outfield player in the Champions League for Man City. That's insane, right? For a competition that means so much to that team as well.
Kieran's also said he's one of the best. It's the best stats that he's seen is that he's won more trophies than Leeds. He has
got quite a wealth of trophies. He's got 2 Premier Leagues, 1 FA Cup, 4 Carabao Cups, 2 Community Shields, and an under-21 World Cup.
It's a good start.
It is a fantastic start. I mean, he's so versatile as well. Can play on the left wing, the right wing, attacking midfielder. Can even drop back and play central midfielder, dictate play a bit. I reckon you could even stick him with the way his playmaking and his finishing has gone on. I mean, you saw the goal he scored against you, Mark, Liverpool, when he the near post against Alisson, just rocketed that in. I think he could play as like a false 9 as well. If City don't want to buy a striker, you can bang Foden in false 9, I reckon. But yeah, he's just unreal. I mean, obviously, like Ollie was saying, similar thing with Saka. Come out for the City Academy, didn't go out on loan, just fought really hard to be in that City's first team. And I think, you know, he's definitely in, you know, one of Pep's favourite players. He said it multiple times how much Pep loves Foden.
Pep loves Foden so much. He said that he wouldn't sell him for 500 million.
Yeah, like
really,
right?
500 million pound, you wouldn't sell Phil Foden. You're a bit like, are you sure? But having that much confidence in a young player like that is.
He's just the way he moves the ball. And if you got that Pep Guardiola saying
Pep is the manager of managers, to be fair.
Yeah, he is. Pep Guardiola saying that, who is, you know, you can make a case for him being one of the best managers of all time, right? Like top 5 managers of all time for sure. Yeah. Easy. Saying that about you, that you must have something about you.
It's making an impression on
unbelievable,
Pep
right?
Guardiola.
Yeah, and I mean, he was when David Silva retired, which was, you know, what, maybe a season or 2 ago.
It was like end of last season.
End of last season. So yeah, it still would have been like
he left City.
When he left City, sorry, yeah. So he was like 19, 20, might have just turned 20, 19 or whatever. He was touted to be the guy to replace David Silva already. And like, to be honest, he's definitely made that transition a lot easier for City.
Yeah, definitely. They could have really struggled to find a player there. Like,
he may not have filled his boots. He's definitely not. I don't think he's filled his boots yet because David Silva was just so good. He's definitely made that transition for David Silva leaving into this new Man City team a lot smoother for City. And obviously they're winning the Premier League this year. I think they're probably going to win the Champions League this year. Obviously we've got PSG versus Man City tonight at 8:00, which is going to be sick.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Yeah, I just think
they've already won the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not only do I think he's going to win a Ballon d'Or, I think he's going to be in the top 3 voting for a considerable amount, I reckon, for a good few years of his career. I reckon he's going to be up there. I mean, hopefully, yeah, like I said, when it's all said and done, I reckon he could go down as definitely one of probably Man City's best ever player, considering, you know, he's come through the academy. This is the new Man City. Obviously, Aguero, David Silva, Yaya Toure, company. These players mean so much to Man City, but I think it's different, isn't it, when you got an academy player come through and he's been there since a kid and he's one of your own. It's just different.
Noticed is that we've all picked people who came through the academy as well.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
All young, all have had a big impact on their teams as well.
All English.
all English. So it is looking good, and it looks like the way forward is to actually really
Definitely
bring them up.
Academies are so important. People underrate academies so much.
We've chosen these players, but there's so many other players that obviously very high chances as well. Because when I was sort of thinking about who I was going to pick, I think, do I go for Saka? I was like, it might be a bit boring, obviously being an Arsenal fan, blah blah blah. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for him because there are the very obvious players that we could have picked, and we will have to mention a couple of their names just as honourable mentions. But like, there's some players in this list that they couldn't not be said. And as I say, we could have picked the really obvious ones like the Haalands, the Sanchos, the Neymars, Lewandowski as well.
Mbappe, big one.
Easily, like so many, but they're very obvious ones. I think we've all picked someone that's a little bit less obvious.
Definitely,
probably
but
not
still got a great chance.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
I think one thing that I think maybe sets Phil Foden aside from maybe the other two players in this, as well as good as those two players are, is that he is guaranteed trophies year in, year out at his club. Like guaranteed it.
I mean,
two trophies.
Plays for Man City.
You probably think at least 2 trophies a season, depending how they you know. And one of them could be a major trophy, like a Premier League or a Champions League.
Well, that's the thing. That's
going to help his case so much.
He's been in the City senior squad since what 17 or something, 2017.
Yeah. I mean,
something like that. So he's been there for like a lot of the last couple of years when it's been very good, and they've been very good for the last sort of 10 years. But it's still he's shown that over the last sort of couple of seasons, he's getting more and more game time. He's getting more and more goals, assists, and he's been developed in the like sort of in the way he should have. Because there's other players that you might think, oh yeah, he's really good, and then he gets started to be paid more and more and more before he's actually ready. What Pep's done with Phil Foden is phenomenal. He's sort of proper, probably a bad word, but he's groomed him into that player. He's formed him into that player that is one of the best next players really.
No, definitely. I think it's gonna be interesting because I mean, like you say, Pep's not going to sell him, so he'll be at City for probably the majority of his career. I would imagine that would be sick to have him in the Premier League for so long.
As long as they're winning, I think he'll be very happy with that as well. Yeah,
and they're definitely not going to start. I think they haven't got a fear of not winning for a long time. They've got a whole country backing them. It's like financially, isn't it? But
I think it's the players this young as well. They've definitely got their head screwed on.
Phil had a little bit.
He's done a little bit of sus sort of stuff, but he had a kid when he was very young.
I rate it.
He's got a second kid on the way with his missus at the moment. I don't know if that's been confirmed, but being a footballer, you have to mature very, very quickly, and being sort of around those players, those key players, like obviously like the 3 that we've picked at the moment it does massively help. And Phil being around arguably the best Premier League side over the last 10 years on average, has definitely helped like massively. I think obviously it's harder for players maybe like Saka that don't play with the talents that City have. Not saying that Arsenal are awful. We do have some great players, but we're not City by any means. So yeah,
I've got another one just quickly after Phil Foden. David Omalabu, Crystal Palace under-18 striker, under-23s. He's just banging goals.
About this one now.
He's got I think what is it this season in the under-18s he's got 18 goals in 16 games, I believe. For us, obviously, we're top of the Premier League, the Premier League South in under-18s. But
that's how you won.
In the last 3 podcasts, so that's fine.
But yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna mention that every single fucking podcast, right? Because it is the only thing we have going for us right now, right?
There's all the people coming up through.
All these kids coming through our academy, man. We've got some really good players coming through.
Binface has anything to do about it when the royal family end up buying Crystal Palace.
Well, they better pump some money in as well. Like, I want to see some good. Harry Kane.
I thought that was a joke.
No, it's one of his things.
Well, yeah, it's one of his things on his manifesto. Whether or not it'll happen or not.
Wait, whose manifesto?
Count Binface
for London Mayor.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
There's basically there's a load of people running basically as a joke for London Mayor at the moment. Like a couple of YouTubers, this Count Binface guy, And they're just obviously coming out with all their manifestos and all their stupid rules. And one of his ones was the royal family have to buy Crystal Palace, like the football club.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Fair.
Interesting to see.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, that's it for our Ballon d'Or winners, boys. I think we've got 4 very good prospects coming through there.
Three very good.
Only took us 45 minutes.
That's it, mate. That's it. But I did want to talk about something else before we finish today. It's a couple of things actually. But first, I want to talk about the Champions League. The new, what's going on with the Champions League. Obviously, we had a good game last night, Chelsea Real Madrid. I don't know if either of you boys watched it, but it was a great game. Jesus Christ,
Back and
great
forth.
game.
Good to see Pulisic get a goal as well.
Yeah, it was a fantastic goal as well. Chelsea were just the first 30 minutes or whatever. They were just playing these long balls over the top, just route one football, classic British football. And Real Madrid did not know what the fuck to do. Honestly, it's out. But obviously in the end, Real Madrid being Real Madrid, they got their shit together and got clawed a goal back. Benzema with an unbelievable finish. Take it on his chest like that, and then with the finish as well, it's just unbelievable. Like me and Ollie were saying before this podcast, heavily underrated as a striker. Not a good guy by any means. Had some controversies. Not a very good guy, but football-wise, mate, unbelievable. What a striker.
It's just such a shame that he was kind of in Ronaldo's shadow for so long. But if you look at stats-wise, he scored more goals than Ronaldo has, excluding penalties, than Ronaldo has since he joined Juve. So he's clearly not a bad player by any means. And even when Ronaldo was there, he was still banging in goals and getting assists and stuff. It's just not as many as Ronaldo.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's criminally underrated.
It's a shame his country don't fuck with him.
Yeah, they don't rate him at all.
No, but it's understandable. He's a bit of a scumbag.
Stupid question, right?
Yeah.
Why?
There's a few. I don't want to say anything because I can't 100% say that it is happened, but I won't get it right.
Just say allegedly after you say it, and then it's fine.
That covers our backs.
That's literally nice. That's how it works.
So he definitely blackmailed a teammate.
Allegedly.
He blackmailed. He had what is this? So he had this is allegedly. This is in the Guardian. So if anyone wants to don't come at me. Come at the Guardian. They got more money than me. So yeah, he had blackmail over sex tape scandal. He attempted to blackmail former France teammate Mathieu Valbuena with a sex tape scandal. He pressured his former teammates into paying blackmailers who threatened to reveal an intimate video in which Valbuena featured. He's standing. Okay, so and there was another thing with underage girls going on as well. Which I'm not 100% sure what happened with. But yeah, there was some underage girls involved with him and some other French players.
Once that's been shouted out, mate. Nightmare.
Yeah,
so... but he is a good footballer. He's a good footballer.
Though. He's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Just around again.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. Obviously, we've got City Porto. Let's get off this whole Benzema thing quick. City Porto, City PSG tonight. I think City are going to win it, but what do you guys think?
Yeah,
I hope City win it.
Yeah.
They could. PSG could come out in full force though and do him in, but because City don't have the best record in the Champions League, but who's to say that they won't just be on form tonight and absolutely destroy PSG.
They've got to win it some year, innit? Why not this year?
You can never ever count Man City out.
No matter what happens.
But just because they haven't had a bad sort of a good sort of couple of years in the Champions League, that doesn't mean that you can rule them out completely. They can turn it on at any point and look like going from the worst team in the world to the best team in the world, literally in a heartbeat.
Well, their lineup will be out in about half an hour.
Nice. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who starts. I think Phil Foden will probably play, which would be good. But I imagine Neymar and Mbappe and that will play as well for PSG.
You've got to play your full team against Man City.
Yeah. What's going on with the new Champions League format?
Right, so I've got it up here.
They're doing more teams, aren't they?
I've got it up here. Yeah, I'm on the Champions League website right now. So it will be for the starting the 24-25 season. So this is basically, it says how will the 24. It says so it's reading, obviously, for anyone that wants to go read this themselves, all on the Champions League website. I'm just going to read off of that. It says the pivotal change in reforms announced by the UEFA Executive Committee after its meeting on the 19th of April is the departure from the current format, 32 games. So the Champions League season begin. Oh no, that's the present one. From 2024-25 season, there will be a single league instead of different groups. The 8 groups that we have this season of the 4 teams, there will be a single league made up of all 36 competitors, competing clubs. Obviously, gives 4 more teams the opportunity to play, but it's still shit, this new format. They'll play 4 more matches than the currently case, so they're guaranteed to face 10. They're guaranteed to face fixtures against 10 different teams. Half of them will be at home and half of them will be away. Obviously, it's all bullshit saying they can play a wider range of opponents and all this kind of bollocks.
It's all for those TV deals,
top teams, and all this bollocks. Basically, wanting to almost Super League the fucking Champions League. But
that's effectively what it is, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The way you're describing it, it just sounds exactly like the Super League, but with less control for the teams.
So the 4 additional spots, this is how they'll be allocated. Slot 1 will be one of the additional places will go to a club ranked 3rd in the championship of the association in the 5th position in the UEFA National Association's ranking.
Yeah.
So whichever league is ranked 5th, the 3rd team will get a spot in that league. Slot 2, another will be awarded for a domestic champion by extending from 4 to 5 the number of clubs qualifying via the so-called Champions Path, whatever that is. Slots 3 and 4.
Is that like the top 4 obviously get a Champions
Basically, yeah.
And the top 5 get Champions League?
Yeah. Slots 3 and 4 are awarded to the 2 clubs with the highest coefficients that have not qualified automatically for the Champions League stages, but have qualified either for the Champions League qualification phase or the Europa League or the Europa League Conference League due to starting the 21-22. We've got another fucking like anyone gives a shit about the Europa League. We've now got a worse Europa League.
Oh, whoa.
I know.
It's alright, Ollie. Top 5 now, mate.
Still nowhere near it.
I don't even really. I've read that, and I still don't really fucking get it. Might as well just leave the Champions League as it is. Who gives a shit?
Many players though are basically saying like, why don't we just extend the whole calendar, to 400 days instead of 365? Then we'll still manage to get the same amount of rest that we get now. I think a lot of players aren't very happy about it, and they're saying now obviously the whole Super League saga seems to be dying down a bit. Let's not completely disregard this new Champions League format. That players want something done, and they want the same sort of uproar that was happening with the European Super League. I don't think a lot of players are very happy about this new format at all.
They're trying to Americanify it so much, man. And because I'm just looking at how the last 16's working here, so it says obviously with the league it'll be 3 points for a win, 1 point. They're still keeping that obviously as it goes. But it says the top 8 teams would advance automatically to the round of 16 in the league. But those sides placed between 9th and 24th will enter a playoff round. Those who finish between 9th and 16th seeded will be seeded in a playoff draw, and meaning they will face the teams from 17th to 24th with home advantage in the second leg match. So they play, so they play away on the first leg, home at the second leg. And the teams who finish 25th or lower will be eliminated with no access to the Europa League. So worse than it is now. And then so the 8 clubs that come out of that playoff spot will then go into the round of 16 and play the 8 that qualified automatically by coming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that order. It just sounds a bit shit to me. I'll be honest. It says what they mean for fans here. It means more opportunities to see Europe's top teams playing each other. I mean, the reason why we see Europe's top teams playing each other, why that is so good, is because it doesn't happen every fucking day. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that is the allure of seeing Real Madrid Chelsea last night. I don't think they haven't played for a very, very long time in the Champions League against each other. I think since like Ruud Gullit was playing for them. It's just, I don't know. It seems a lot of bollocks to me.
I don't know. I do kind of like that more variety of teams will actually get a shot, because obviously I think last week, which is the new episode that's out on our YouTube page, we were talking about how there is so much control, and the split between the top part of leagues and the bottom.
But this is
It's
just
so one-sided.
To make that even worse, mate, because you got teams that are going to get in because of their Champions League history, not because of how they've done the season before. So if Liverpool were getting the Champions League this year, even if they came 8th or 9th,
because they do well in Europe.
Because they do well in Europe historically.
But we wouldn't have qualified. That's the whole point.
Yeah, no, but you will now.
That's kind of bullshit. I mean,
So West Ham or Leicester wouldn't get in because
even if
West Ham comes second, even if West Ham win the Premier League, bruv.
Really?
They might not get in.
Even if they win the Premier League?
I don't know about that. That might be me exaggerating a little bit. I don't know about that.
I mean, it's still second though.
It is if they come top 4, bruv. If they come top 4, bruv, they probably won't get into the fucking.
How are they ever gonna get into the top?
Well, they might get one of these bullshit spaces where you have to qualify and do all that, but they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, mate. It's just basically taking some bits that maybe UEFA liked about the Super League and thought, fuck it, we'll try and put that. While this whole Super League controversy is going on and all this stuff, let's just slip this Champions League thing under the door, which they somehow successfully did.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. We need to keep, as fans, we need to keep our voices heard. We need to keep going. We can't let up. UEFA, we moved from the fat cat Americans. We still hate them, but we're moving on. We'll put them to the side for now. We need to go at UEFA.
Apart from Kroenke, fuck Sam Kroenke.
Apart from you know what, just go at both. Just go at both. Just go at the Americans still. Keep going at them, and obviously Perez and all these man, and just go at UEFA as well. We might as well see how many we can keep football for the fans, not for the money.
100%. It's the game's changing a lot at the moment. I think people are slowly falling out of love with football. I think with VAR at the moment, it's killing the game. Obviously, all these rule changes they're trying to bring in, the European Super League and Champions League, everything like that. People are slowly just getting more and more pissed off, I think. Me and Mark were having fairly serious sort of thoughts about where our allegiances lie after obviously European Super League.
Yeah. We were tested. We really were tested.
We were very tested, and for obviously both of us have supported our respective clubs for as long as we've enjoyed football and known really what football was, and for us to just suddenly turn around and go, nah, like that's not on. You can't do that.
Can't do that.
It is massively making people fall in love with football.
The way I sort of compare it for people who don't really understand the gravity of it all is like if you've been in a long-term relationship or you're married and then your husband and or wife cheats on you, but you still want to be with her or him.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the only way I can really describe it.
I completely understand you guys doing that. I completely get it. I would probably be myself if Crystal Palace had done it, to be honest. I'd myself would be like, I don't know about this anymore.
I mean, we all nearly became Palace fans over the last few weeks. So
let's make this a Palace podcast. Let's make this a Palace.
We've been about to change Harry anyway.
Yeah, that's
really haven't done anything to wind Harry up at the moment.
Sorry guys, Harry's not here. As you've probably seen already. Didn't say that at the beginning of the podcast, but Harry's not here.
He's just been very quiet, actually.
Yes, he's just hanging about in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
in the door like.
It does almost with these with this Champions League format, these Super League formats, all this shit going on, bruv. Honestly, it does almost make me think, like, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I do have those thoughts, and I'm like, what's the point in supporting a club that's not a big six? There's just no point because the game is so skewed towards them succeeding and no one else succeeding. What's the point? It's like it is basically beating a dead horse.
I need to do something along the lines of what F1 are trying to do with next year's regulations. They're changing the cars to basically make it so the cars can race closer together. So
if F1 can do it, we can do it. F1 used to be ran by fucking Bernie Ecclestone, for God's sake. One of the most corrupt men in the world, allegedly. Allegedly. If they can get from there to here, we can do it, boys. We can do it.
Like they need to, because they take what the fans say into consideration. Like they listen to the fans a lot. Obviously, I know F1 is a lot of a smaller community than compared to football. Football is a massive. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's if they can do that sort of thing, and see the billions of pounds that these companies are sort of spending and generating in terms of income as well. Like they can definitely change some stuff around, make things a little bit fairer. Obviously, in the long run, it does make these sort of top 6 teams like, oh, we're going to lose out on a load of money. So yeah, you might lose out on a load of money in that sense, but you could make a shit ton more money because you then got a more. You're selling out every single game because it's actually really exciting. Every game you're playing Stoke, for instance, but it's a really, really exciting game, and so every week selling out, you're getting more money for TV viewers and everything like that. So in the long run, you're not losing out on money. You're making the game more enjoyable for the fans. Yes, you don't have that long-lasting advantage that you did before, but that will always suck. And obviously, teams aren't going to want to say, okay, let's make this a bit fairer so we've not got this massive advantage on people, because why would they? But at the same time, Premier League need to put their just put their foot down and say, no, this is what's happening. We're going to make this fairer. We're going to make it a game for the people again. We're not going to keep running it how it is just so you guys can keep making your billions of pounds every year.
That's it. Unfortunately, we're having this. I love this conversation, but we are unfortunately having this conversation about 30 years too late. We should have been having this conversation when the Premier League was being introduced, because this is basically what the Premier League's done. They've done it to themselves. Do you know what I mean? They've done it to us. They've done it to us. They just wanted to make money, and they did it back then. They want to make more money now. They want to do the Super League. It's all fucked. Yeah, I don't know. And unfortunately, if they keep messing around with our sport, right? If these people keep messing around with our sport, Perez is going to be right. 16 to 24-year-olds are not going to be interested in football. And it's not going to be because of the fucking Super. It's not going to be because of the Premier League or Palace playing Man United. That's not going to be the reason. It's going to be all these fucking shit clubs, all these big clubs just playing each other every week.
It's just the same clubs playing the same competitions every year, playing the same big games. I know there won't be big games anymore because they're just the same games.
The novelty will wear off very quickly, and I think people will get bored. Like a United versus Barca or whatever will become the equivalent of Sheffield versus Wolves. It's just a bit of a bland game, really. The novelty will wear off of the big excitement of these two massive teams playing each other. And if that becomes every week or every other week or however often it is, it becomes boring. Like with everything, if you do it too often, you takes the excitement out of it. The whole reason they're big games is because they don't happen very often, and it's something that the atmosphere, the atmosphere builds up to it, and everyone's getting really, really excited. If it's just something that happens all the time, it just takes away that fun.
And then it's like having these teams play like all around the world. It's shit, man. Because what these owners don't get is that fans like going to away games in England. They love it, going to away games up north. They're awesome, man. And they love going to away days abroad as well. But once every couple months or something like, or once every few months. Do you know what I mean? For the
Champions League being obviously Europe based and not across the world. You don't have to fly to.
And Americans don't do that shit.
No, exactly.
Americans they just go see their games at home. They don't fly.
They don't travel
where to go see their teams play away. They just don't do that.
No, it's like I said last week. We don't want to. The fans aren't going to fly to New York to go watch. For Arsenal versus Real Madrid or whatever. They're not.
Who wants to go? I mean, I could not imagine anything worse than watching a fucking football game with a bunch of Americans.
Oh, horrible.
Oh my god, I love soccer.
Oh my god, I love soccer. We're gonna win.
Let's go soccer.
We're gonna win. You're gonna lose.
Defense.
Honestly, bro, I can't. It's just like, like I've said from Troop. I saw a thing from Troops. Obviously, Ollie, I know you're not a big fan of AFTV people or whatever, but he was saying NFL and NBA are businesses. Football is a sport, and it is so true, man. It's such a true statement. Like, they're not competitive. The NBA and NFL, as much as they like to say they're competitive, it's not competitive.
No.
Because if you lose, you're like, all right, we're going to get a sick player anyway next year. Let's just re-go next year. Let's tank for the rest of the season. Some teams in these American sports actively try and lose.
100%.
It's mental.
What? So they get good players?
So they get a good player in the draft. Yeah, that's what they try and lose on purpose. If they've got no hope of winning the league or the chip that year, the championship, they don't bother. It's disgusting. It's a crime on sport.
Yeah.
So that's not
it happens
sport.
because they're institution, they're businesses, they're not sports, they're businesses.
Because that's a business move.
That's a business move.
It's not for like the
Exactly.
fans. It's not for
The
to
order
make
of
watch a good game.
priority is fans, football, like money, like ownership.
Yeah.
Basically, the fans always come first, no matter sort of what. Obviously, I know you could argue that football comes first, but I definitely think pleasing the fans, and because the clubs are nothing without fans.
No.
The fans are the real owners of the clubs.
Yeah.
If everyone stopped turning up to games, I think that would also be quite a big impact as well.
It would be, but it just won't ever happen.
No, of course.
You couldn't get enough fans on a thing because people will go, man. There are some people that are football fans that are so blind to everything that's going on that will just show up regardless of what's going on.
Yeah, and they go, okay, we'll drop our prices, and everyone goes, oh, maybe they're not that bad. Let's go in here.
Oh, and get 2 for 1 on tickets.
Exactly,
go
and
see
they can
Burnley.
get their soul can be sold like that. But it's like, don't get me wrong. You two know me. I love the NBA. I love the NFL. They're great products. I watch them all the time, right? But because they're great bits of entertainment. I don't want that for football,
It's just
man.
content.
It's so different, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like the NFL, it is great product. It is, but that's what it is. It's a product.
Yeah.
There's no soul in it. There's no
Football's got that culture.
Yeah,
It's a heritage, passion.
Behind it.
That's exactly it. You don't feel it as much, man.
Yeah. So
If my team lose, I'll be like, if my team lose in the NBA or whatever, I'll be like, my mate Heat lose, I'm like, all right, well, we've got a game tomorrow. Let's get ready for the next one. If Palace lose, mate, I'm pissed off for a week.
until the next game.
I'm in a shit mood for a week. Like it actually affects me. Like
That's
do
the
you know
thing.
what I mean?
In games like NBA and stuff, you play 80 odd games a season or something.
Yeah, 82 games a season.
Yeah, and you play half.
Yeah, that's excluding the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. That's just alone plus however many obviously in the playoffs or whatever. Potentially 7 games in every playoff sort of series or whatever. But yeah, it's with football, there's years or hundreds of years worth of history behind it. There's these teams that have started off at just probably a load of mates getting together at the park or whatever and playing, and it's gone from nothing to the biggest sport spectacle in the world. It is the biggest sport in the world. But these NBA teams and stuff have played. Obviously, they play over double the amount of games, so each game isn't as important. And there's these teams that have just been made, and you go, right, we've started off with $100 million or whatever it may be, and the rest, but they've started here, whereas football started here and has gone here. Like it's sort
the
of
level is different. The level's insane between the two sports. They're incomparable in my eyes. Because if someone goes, well, what would you prefer, like football or NBA, football or NFL? Like they can name any sport in the world, and I go, well, football.
Yeah.
Like you can name everything, and I'd still choose football.
Yeah, oh mate, absolutely.
Still on the topic of Premier League, have you guys cast any of your votes for the Hall of Fame?
No, bro, I fucking hate the Hall of Fame. It's just the most bullshit thing in the world. Why the fuck have we got a Hall of Fame? Who gives a shit? Like, I mean, it's nice, I guess.
To honour these players.
Jesus.
It's nice to honour these players, but again, I think it might be something that another thing that they're trying to bring into Americanise the game, because that sort of thing, the Hall of Fame is very much an American thing. They've done it obviously with the NBA, with NFL, loads of stuff like that, and I don't think it's the worst idea they've ever had. It doesn't do any harm, but at the same time, I don't massively see the point in it.
It's just like, are they bored? Like, what is the situation there? Like, do they just have spare time? I thought, fuck it, we'll just now create a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Alan Shearer and Thierry Henry have already been inducted. They're the first 2 inductees.
Yeah.
And then we've also got on the shortlist for the voting, which runs out in 9 days or something, I think, on the 9th of May. We've got Tony Adams, David Beckham, Dennis Bergkamp, Sol Campbell, Eric Cantona, Andy Cole, Ashley Cole, Didier Drogba, Les Ferdinand, Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Fowler, Steven Gerrard, Roy Keane, Frank Lampard, Matt Le Tissier, Michael Owen, Peter Schmeichel, Paul Scholes, John Terry, Robin Van Persie, Nemanja Vidic, Patrick Vieira, and finally Ian Wright. Yeah, there's a fair few on there, and I think it's 6 of these players will be inducted into the Hall of Fame out of the 23, I think, that have been nominated. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see who does get in, because quite frankly, I'd take probably 99% of them, if not 100% of them, in the Hall of Fame, because I think they all definitely deserve to be in there. They're all fantastic players. I think Alf said earlier about it's sort of strange how there wasn't a United player that's been one of the first inductees, because considering they are essentially the most decorated
Premier League team,
and in the Premier League. But it is a little bit strange, and that the person that you mentioned, fair enough, isn't even on the shortlist.
I can't believe it, bro. It's fucking travesty. This is how I know this thing's a fucking travesty.
Wait,
honestly.
who?
Rooney.
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
Rooney's not on the list, bro. Mate, this whole thing is a farce, bro. It's just a way to have more.
I'm not sure if he's
I can't be
eligible
bothered with it.
Because he hasn't. He's not officially retired yet, has he?
That's true. Oh, do you have to be officially retired? But he doesn't play in the Premier League.
Retired from.
Oh, that makes sense.
In this one, you needed to be retired by August last year.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
That'll be
fine.
Yeah. Ryan Giggs was another one, but you can
understand. Very
recently, he's not in that list.
Hall of Fame scumbags he can go into. Jesus.
Hall of Infamous.
Yeah.
Him and what's his name, Joey Barton, are in the Hall of Fame scumbags inductees.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, there's some obviously brilliant players on this list. I'm glad to see that there's a fair few Arsenal ones. Obviously, none of them for any recent times.
It's just something I just don't get it, man. What's the point? I don't really like. It's nice, I suppose, but it's just another way of Americanizing our game. I'm just bored of, just sick of people trying to change. I want, if we're gonna make changes, let's do something that's actually gonna benefit the game,
not cling on to the past.
Yeah, man. Like, it's so cool to, like, we can decorate. We can, we can give them awards or something. But, like, who cares? There's no, like, it's because there's no history. There's no, like, real, like, I can't think of the word right now, but there's nothing about it that gets you feeling any kind of way. Like, they have them in the NFL and they have it in the NBA, but they've been doing them for years. Like, since their thing started, right? And the NBA one even that one doesn't even mean that much. The NFL one's the one that really matters for that sport. That's because they've done it for so long. Do you know what I mean? And it's really hard to get into.
Again, but that's their cultural thing, isn't it? That's what they. Oh my God! Did you hear so and so got into the Hall of Fame? Oh, that's it. They've completed it. Whereas football is just like they've just chucked a load of names into the Hall of Fame, and we're all
let's be honest,
just like, why?
All of them are going to end up in it.
Yeah, at some point, yeah.
We're all going to end up in it.
It's just a matter of their time before they all end up on there. Because if you take out the top 6 that are on this list, and they're going to be replaced with another 6, but then it'll be the second 6 that are on this list that will then get in, and then it will just slowly but surely everyone that's on this list, the 23 nominees, will be on there. I'll be very surprised if they don't end up on there. But if they're doing this once a year or something, but it's 6 every year, or technically 8 this year, if you've got the 2 Henry and Shearer already, and then 6 more, it's not going to take long for these players to be on there. If you were to do 1 a season, it would, I think, probably mean a lot more.
Yeah.
You have you've only got limited chances to get into that Hall of Fame if they're inducting 1 every year. Because by the time, obviously, Eric Cantona goes out of it, or whatever happens, and then there could be players like David Silva on there that could easily get in before Les Ferdinand, for instance. Just random names off this list. But I don't think like you said, there's no importance to it like there is with sort of the NFL and stuff like that. But
and this is also, Gareth Barry ain't even on this fucking first list of people. He's the most capped Premier League player of all time.
Is it?
What's the
When did he
point?
retire?
He retired ages ago, bruv. I think he retired in. Oh, he retired in 2020. So it would have been last year. He didn't retire that, but yeah, man, he's played. How does he play? Hold on. Most Prem appearances. Yeah, Gareth Barry, 653 Premier League appearances, the most Premier League appearances ever, and he's not on this second, bruv.
It's kind of it isn't understandable. It is a bit criminal that he's not on there. But if you think about what these respective players did for a lot of them are very much they're known for a specific club. Some of them obviously are a couple of clubs, but Gareth Barry was obviously
Villa.
Yeah, no,
He
but
was at City. He did go City. He did play for Everton, and West Ham, but that was in the Championship.
That's what I mean.
But Villa, he was at Villa from '90s.
Played for one or two teams, and then known specifically for those teams.
He did play for Villa for a decade.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is hard because no matter who's on this list, there's always going to be you're always going to be able to think of someone that's not on there that should be on there. Next year he could be on there. Who knows? He could be one of the first people to be picked.
Could be.
Yeah. I have no interest in this whatsoever. Unfortunately, it's cool thing, I guess. Have it if you want. I don't know. There's nothing to me. It's not prestigious. There's nothing about it to me. Do you know what I mean? That if I see a player who's in the Premier League Hall of Fame, I'll be like, all right.
Thanks.
Do you know what I mean? Moving on.
Anyway, next week's games.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you guys wanna, well, not you guys, but if you listeners want to let us know who you think or who your nominees are, or who you think should be in the Hall of Fame, let us know. We can go through some of them.
we'll let FIFA know.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put in a good word with the head honchos at the Premier League. But yeah,
that's it. But to be fair, I can smell dinner. I think we're gonna have to wrap it up there, boys. Unless you guys want to wrap it up without me, or you guys.
I think we've.
I think again we just got on, started chatting shit about football, and
love it.
Like an hour and a half.
Love it. We need to think. We don't have next week's idea down yet, do we? I don't think we've discussed it.
We have time.
We have time. We have a bit of time. Yeah,
We've
yeah.
got
for sure.
2 weeks technically. We can take a break because we've got
Well, we have
episode. We've got special. The special just came out, and then there's the episode 18 coming out next week, and then episode 19, which we've just done.
It's not episode 18's out.
The episode, the European.
Is this episode 20?
No, this is episode 19.
The way we filmed the tier list one first, which is technically episode 18, and then we filmed the Super League episode. But the Super League episode we obviously decided to release before the tier list one. So that's technically episode 18 in terms of release order, and the tier list one is episode 19. So this technically is episode 20, but yeah, it gets complicated.
No, the ESL is more of like a special.
Yeah, well, it's
okay,
down.
we can just do it as a special. It is down as episode 18, so it don't matter.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it don't matter. That's all calm, just more episodes, isn't it? But yeah, no, that's all right. We'll definitely still stream something to Twitch next week. I think we got keep going. We'll maybe we don't have to do such a long one, but we can just get on here and chat shit about some football.
Semi-finals. When's the Champions League final?
Let's have a look. It'll be after the Premier League finishes, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously, we've got second legs of the Champions League finals. Obviously,
29th of May.
29th of May, lovely.
Yeah. Obviously, big up Arsenal in the Europa League on Thursday tomorrow, playing Villarreal. Not very confident, but I haven't been throughout the whole of the Europa League so far. So
fair.
Nothing's changed there.
I was thinking maybe we do some try and do sort out some gaming for next week, because we do talk a lot of shit, but maybe we could just do some gaming.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Try and sort something out.
Well, yeah, we should do some sporty stuff. Maybe we could do a little FIFA tourney.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but we don't. I guess we do have to get it on PC.
Yeah.
Let me have a look real quick for you. And
my EA account that I had my FIFA on got hacked, and I haven't played FIFA in about 2 years.
Well, you could re-download it for PC. No.
Yeah, but
start a new EA account.
Yeah, true, very true. But I also haven't played in 2 years, so I'm going to get correct.
Right.
You can get warmed up, mate.
Yeah, we'll do a little FIFA tourney next week. I'm down for that.
Get something organised over the weekend and do some testing.
Yeah. Must be able to pick FIFA 21 up on.
I think it's pretty cheap at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's quite cheap on like all keys or CD keys.
I'm on CD
I'm
keys.
on CD. It's 20 quid on CD keys. I'll pay 20 quid.
It's even less than that on all keys.
I might just get it now.
I'll pay 20 quid for FIFA 21 on CD keys. What's it on all keys?
It is $16.99 on all keys.
That's it, mate. Yeah, I'll probably just do that. Do that for next week, man. We'll play some.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll let Harry know. I'm not sure how well Harry would be able to join us, though, if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not.
We'll have to work out the logistics, and we'll put something on our Insta or something to let people know what we're doing.
I would say invite Simon, but he's too good at FIFA. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just get
people that
smacked up.
beat us. Whoever's going to beat me anyway, but
yeah, we'll get a little round robin going in. I was saying we'll get some people involved. That'd be fun.
we can do some more
Is
quiz.
FIFA cross-platform?
Well, if we just all get it on PC, it shouldn't be an issue, no?
Well, I was thinking if we get some other people involved and that, yeah.
I mean, if we do it all on PlayStation, all of us would be here, but then it would be just streaming it. Would be the
no, it's not.
grey area.
We can figure it out. It don't matter. Yeah. Even if, we'll figure it out. But
don't you guys worry.
Yeah, but before we
if
go,
not, we could just do. If the gaming thing doesn't work out, we could just do something fun like a bunch of quizzes.
Yeah,
some more tier lists rather than getting deep.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've got bare questions still.
We've still got about 395 questions to go through.
We could just do a little quiz thing.
You know what? Fuck, let's do that for next week.
Little quiz.
I'll host a quiz for us next week.
Fully unprepared or revised?
Well, I'll have the questions and shit, man. You guys just come in as normal. You can do so. I won't. If you want to do revision, I won't hold it against you because you're not going to know what the questions are anyway.
Yeah.
So it don't matter.
Football.
If you want to brush up on your general football knowledge, that's fine. But I think let's get a couple more. Let's get a couple guests in next week. I think as well for this quiz. I think that'd be quite fun. Yeah. We'll talk to some people.
Let us know on Instagram who you'd like to see.
Yeah, if anyone that's watching right now would want to be in for the quiz next week, let us know. We can get you on for there. Yeah,
should be fun.
Definitely.
Quite interesting. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. This has been, I don't know, actually this has been a regular length episode, I think, right?
I think so. roughly at least an hour.
I think so.
At least an
hour.
It
goes so quickly, man, when we're chatting.
20 maybe.
Yeah, it goes so quickly, man, when we're chatting about this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's it. Thanks. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit notification bell on YouTube. That will be. But obviously, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, another podcasting thing. I've forgotten what the name. I've never known the name of. I can't say I've forgotten.
We just go to Spotify, Apple Music. They're the only ones people care about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you have an app that causes that has podcasts on it, type our name in. Footy Fetish. We might come up. You never know.
If not, let us know, and I can add it to the list.
Exactly. But yeah, thank you for
all that good shit.
That's it. So yeah, Instagram, we're all on there at Footy Fetish Podcast. We do polls and stuff on our story, so if you want to get involved, have a bit of banter with us lot on there, get involved. Yeah, and we'll see you this time next week on Twitch. But obviously, for people on Twitch, you'll see this episode. You know, it don't matter. It'll be up soon.
All you YouTubers, you hang on in there.
Yeah, all the YouTubers, this will be for you next week, or maybe even the week after. We're not.
If you get to this point in the podcast,
well done.
Something, credit to you. Very credit to you.
Farah sign. That's what you get.
Yeah, put a little heart in the comment section if you got to this point on the podcast. We know where our real fans are.
Exactly. That's it. But yeah, thanks everyone, and we will see you next week.